Well, as we approach the final 2 games of the season, I think we have to put this one down as the best first couple of months at a club since Fulham. We haven't quite achieved the ridiculousness of promotion to the Premier League like we did with Fulham when we first arrived. But in my defence, I'm not sure it's possible to do that from La Liga anyway. Hello and welcome to Club 6 Part 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final 2 games of the league season. We're at home against Athletic Bilbao and away against champions Real Madrid, who've only lost twice all season. So that one will be fun. Although we were the first team all season to take any points off of them when we drew with them after their 17-game winning run that they started the season with. So if anyone's got a chance to give them their 3rd defeat of the season, it's us. We won't be beating Real Madrid, I don't think. Since you were last with me, this is what we've been doing. As you can see, form has been excellent. We still get the occasional little blip. Real Betis 2-0 away from home. Not really sure what happened there, other than the fact we were away from home against a fairly good team. But as you can see, there's been some pretty spectacular results in there too. In particular, beating Atletico Madrid 2-1, a 4-0 away win at Real Sociedad. Beating Espanyol 1-0 away was a decent result as well. And this is what the league table looks like. And if we'd have arrived a month earlier, I think European qualification could have happened. As it is, 2 games until the end of the season. We do have a game in hand on a lot of the teams above us, but I think Europa League spots come down as far as 7th place. There's 5 points between us and Real Sociedad in 7th place. We don't have a game in hand on them either, and we've got to play Real Madrid. So I think we're going to be finishing 8th or 9th. Either way, spectacular overachievement. We were 15th when I arrived halfway through the season. I was asked to try and get us to mid-table. We're very much top half of the table. And like I say, if we'd have arrived a little bit earlier, then I think a realistic push for the Europa League would have been on. It's going to be a big summer now coming up on, is it Monday's episode? Monday's episode, where we're going to try and build a team that actually looks like a top-level squad of players. Because at the moment, the results are made to look even more spectacular by the nonsense of a team that we're putting out there. Some of these players who are part of this team, it's insane. We've got a 35-year-old centre-back who, yes, he was good once, but he's now 35. We've got a kid, Anthony Townsend, is a 20-year-old Premier League reserve who'd only ever played 1 game of top division football for Tottenham off the bench this season. He's come in and he's been superb in our midfield. Dietrich up front, 18 years old, never played a game of professional football, comes straight into La Liga. Took him a little while to settle in, but now 4 goals from 7 starts. Again, he's looking excellent. It's mad that Garcia wasn't part of the team when we arrived. He's a player who was kind of just sat in our reserves. I don't really know why, because he'd been playing well for Villarreal. We spent a lot of money on him, but then the previous manager wasn't playing him. But we've brought him into the team, and he's awesome. And it doesn't. If you just looked through that team based on their track records and whatnot, you would be saying, yes, relegation battle. Look at the state of your midfield. So I think if we can strengthen in some key areas, like for example bringing in a real striker, Liam, are you there? If we can try and bring in a real striker and a couple of real midfield players, whilst continuing to bring through some of the brilliant youngsters we've got at the club. I mean, as an example, this guy, Mamadou Sagna, 19 years old, came through our youth team. Look at the potential on him. I mean, it's ridiculous. And he's not the only one. We've got loads of these knocking around the place. No, he's not a youngster, is he? He's an old man. He's one of the ones I can move on. Who else have we got who's a promising youngster? Ventura is another one, I think, 19 years old. Look at the state of that potential. There's an easier way to look at potential, Kev. Just look at the squad, sort it by potential, and pick out some of these players. Rodriguez, look at the potential on him. Madness. Ramirez, in fact, I don't even have to click on each of them individually. We can take advantage of the LOLLUJO view is a lovely thing when it works, but this column, my favourite column, is forever not working properly. There we go. If we sort by potential, we've got two players who are not even in our squad who have got a 5-star potential. We've got Moreno, who's still young and going to get better. But look at all these other youngsters that we've got. 15-year-olds who are awesome for potential. 18, 17, 18, 19, 20, 18. We have got a very bright future at Sevilla for youngsters. If we can supplement those youngsters with the right grown-ups in the right positions, I'm very excited for the future. But that's all for next episode when we do our season review and our transfers. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's play the last 2 games of the season. So this is the team for Athletic Bilbao. We've got Angulo in goal, a back four of Centelles, Lindelof, McCrory and Montiel, with Moreno, Townsend and Frydek in midfield. For a couple of these, I know people have been telling me in the comments how to say them properly. I'm not even going to try. I don't think either of them are going to be with us for much longer, so we'll just carry on saying it wrong now. Continuity. And then Garcia, Dietrich and Pozo as our front 3. Let's get into the match and hopefully continue our winning run that we've been on recently. Yes, that is rain bouncing off my garage roof. You can probably hear again. I might actually move to Seville for the weather, because it's rained ever since I've been Sevilla manager. It has rained every day and it just bounces off my garage roof and it's very upsetting. Right, we want revenge on Athletic Bilbao for last time. I don't know what happened last time. I think it was before I was here. But even if I was here, I'm not going to remember. You're familiar with my work. So this is a team that are 3rd in the league, all but secure in a Champions League spot now. I think they're certainly going to be thinking a win against us and they're in the Champions League. And Eusebio Garcia says, what? Why am I bothered about that? I'm just going to stick it in the top corner. Is that okay? Is that okay with you? There you go. Bang. What a goal. Sevilla 1, Athletic Bilbao 0. And again, we're mixing it up with the teams who are going to be in the Champions League from our league next season. Athletic Bilbao, Atletico Madrid. I'm looking at Levante and thinking, we'll have that spot next year. Barcelona and Villarreal are probably doing the exact same thing. But I've got to be aiming for top 6 next season. Get Sevilla back to where they are in real life as a top 6 La Liga team. And then within a year or two, as these youngsters start to come through and develop, and we've got to make sure we give these youngsters their chances, which I will. We did it at Fulham. We had a great youth set up there and we brought through some very good players and Purby. So we're going to try and get, I'm thinking Champions League qualification isn't too many years away. And just like I said at Hamburg, the infrastructure is here to really take that step to the next level. But the difference from Hamburg is we've got this exceptional youth setup here. So even if I don't get the financial backing that I feel like I need, I feel like there's a conveyor belt of players where we're going to get 2 or 3 players come through to the first team squad from our youths every year, which that's arguably better than being given a £50 million transfer budget every season. So there's even more potential here to become a proper European superpower. It falls to Townsend on the edge of the area. Townsend plays it back across to Moreno. Frydek, Pozo just wide from the edge of the area. Look at what we're doing to a team that are probably going to be in the Champions League next year. 60% possession, 12 shots to their 3. We were supposed to be in a relegation battle. I don't know what the previous manager was up to. I don't understand. Right, let's... don't get complacent. We'll calmly say don't get complacent. I don't need to get overexcited. And of course, the most satisfying thing to me is that we're already definitely going to finish above Valencia, who refused to even interview me. That'll learn them. We were below Valencia when I arrived. We're going to finish 10 points ahead of them. They made the wrong choice, didn't they? Twice, because they hired Rooney first time, and then they messed up and made the wrong choice again. Silly gooses. Right, let's... I would 22 shots in this match. This is what I'm talking about. If we can find a real top-level striker, which I know is not necessarily an easy task, but Liam Thorne, if you are watching, if we can't find a top-level striker, you'll do. I'm being cruel to Liam Thorne. He should be in the England team, and he has performed in 2 top leagues across Europe. I would happily have Liam Thorne as part of this team. Or Valentini might even go on and be the man. He's he's slowly learning to speak Spanish and starting to score more goals. I think he's our top scorer, but only on about 8 goals for the season. There's a lot of potential knocking around here, and we've just got to decide how best to use it. We're going to take off Moreno, bring on Busquets, and the likes of Busquets, who he's not in our team. I've rarely started him. He's 31. He's the kind of player who I can move on this summer. I'm looking at McCrory and Lindelof and thinking they've got a combined age of nearly 70. So although I'm not necessarily going to bin either of them off immediately, I've got to be thinking in terms of, right, who's our next generation of centre-backs? So I know we've got Sanya and the other guy who have got potential to come through, but I kind of want someone in between. We've got 2 in their 30s, 2 in their early 20s. I'd like maybe one who's about 26. I'm thinking Kubik from Fulham, if he still exists. How did he develop? We might have to go back and have another look at him. He's going to be that kind of age now. He could slot in there just as a little bit of an in-between who can play with the older ones if need be and be pretty much as good as they are, but also be around for the next 2 or 3 years to help bring on the younger ones. I have a plan. It feels weird having a plan. But we've just beaten Athletic Bilbao convincingly as well. I know it was only a 1-0, but it was a very convincing 1-0. And now we go into the final game of the season. Are we secured 8th place now? Not quite. I mean, there's still a chance that we could end up in 7th. We could still backdoor Kevit into the Champions League. It does involve Real Sociedad losing to both Celta Vigo and Alaves, which seems unlikely, and also involves us beating Real Madrid away from home, which seems really unlikely. But when the back door is still slightly ajar, I never give up. I'm a little closer to giving up now because Real Sociedad managed to salvage a draw. Like last minute stuff as well. They were 2-0 down after 82 minutes and fought their way back to 2-2 with a questionable penalty as well. So what it means is we do have a better goal difference than them. I'm not sure if goal difference is how you decide things in Spain. Looking at that, I don't think it is, because Athletic Bilbao have a better goal difference than Levante, so I guess it's on head-to-head performance. I don't know what our head-to-head performance is with Real Sociedad. Let's go and have a little look. So, where are they? Do they exist? I mean, if they don't exist, that should give us a direct route into Europe. So we beat them 3-2 back in December, and we beat them 4-0 away a few matches ago. So we've got them on head-to-head. So now we're going into that final game of the season. If we beat Real Madrid and they lose to Alaves, who are already relegated, then we'll backdoor it into Europe. Again, don't get your hopes up, because I don't think either of those things are likely to happen. But we're going into the final game of the season still with a chance of European qualification. Who'd have thought that when we first arrived? Just the one change for the Real Madrid game, then Moreno picked up an injury between the 2 games, so Fernandez comes in to play as the holding midfield player. Other than that, it is the same team that just performed so well in the last match, and fingers crossed we can put on another performance today. And I mean, we're not going to beat Real Madrid. I don't know why I'm even suggesting it's there as an option. They are considerably better than everybody else. The recent form standings have Real Madrid in 2nd place while we're 1st. Let's show them why. There you go. We won the form league. That's the important thing. I think we've got nothing to lose here. We know how good we are. Let's show everyone else what we're capable of. Fans have been... No, I like that one. Nope. No impact. I mean, we should lose, and I don't want them to be downhearted if we do lose, because everyone has been losing away to Real Madrid this season. So we've already had one outstanding performance against them. I'm not going to get too downhearted if we don't do a second one, and we're already 1-0 down after 9 minutes. The Europa League was never really on. I hope Real Sociedad win their game, so it was never even there. I don't want to go into the summer knowing that if we had have managed to grind out a result against Real Madrid, we'd have been there. And to be fair, that's not even a true reflection of the season anyway. There's a couple of other games where we could have ground out a result that was more realistic. Real Madrid, I think, even if we end up being La Liga champions in 3 or 4 years' time, we'll still look at the fixture list at the start of the season. We're not going to be budgeting on beating Real Madrid away from home, certainly. So I'm not that bothered. I'm really bothered. I'm not that bothered. Right, McCrory to Fernandes. Let's go grab an equaliser. A draw would be excellent. We'd be the only team in the league who didn't lose against them this season. That would be a bit special. Townsend now. I can't believe Townsend's in this team. Garcia plays it across to Pozo. We have got Dietrich in the middle, but it falls to Pozo again. Aims for Garcia, but it's overhit. And now Real have a chance to break down this right-hand side. And my goodness, they're quite good, aren't they? Goodness gracious me. They're a good team. I don't think we're going to be winning the Liga anytime soon. At least in Germany, we knew that there wasn't really a big dominant force. I know historically Bayern Munich have been that, but we saw from that season a couple of years ago when we finished 1 point behind in third place that I always felt a little bit like we might have been able to win the league there. I don't think we'd have ever gone on and been Champions League winners there, but we could have picked up a Bundesliga. I'm looking at this thinking, we ain't ever winning the Liga. It's like the Premier League all over again. We were never going to win that with Fulham. We're never winning the Liga with Sevilla, surely. Oh, I just hope all these good Real Madrid players are old, so 3 or 4 years down the line they'll be broken messes. Right, we've got to be passionate. The fans have been fantastic. Let's just go out there and put on a performance for them, because for it to come from where we've come from to finish where we have, we deserve to have a little bit of fun in these last 45 minutes of the season. Garcia's furious and I don't know why. What's he so angry about? He wants to win. I like that. I like the fact we've got players who feel like they should be winning this game, because we all know that that's not on the cards. Especially as we've seen just how devastating Real can be. And they've just done it again there. And I mean, it's goodness me. Wasn't the manager's job for this lot open at the start of the season? Was that one of the ones? I don't even remember now. If this is some manager's 1 year's work, then I've got a long way to go to become a legend. Oh, right. We're going to make some changes in a minute. Let's try and score here first, though. We're still only 2-0 down, but look at the pace they can just slide through us with. This is remarkable. My word. They can just take off their world-class midfielders and not worry about it. Oh, my goodness. We've got a Tottenham reserve in our midfield. We're a team. They're a collection of individuals. I just hope that their manager goes off somewhere else and it ruins them. Right. Marquez can come on and play up front. What his name is, the Italian guy got injured. Federici? That's not his name, is it? Townsend can come off for Horvath. We're going to bring Zazana on as well. Do a triple substitution and say goodbye to... I mean, it's been an excellent season. I can't believe that we've managed to get to the point where we don't have to scroll to see us. And next year, we're going to be... Levante are missing out on the last day of the season on a Champions League spot. They've been up there for so long. Next year, top 6. That's got to be the goal. We need a big summer and a top 6 finish next season. I assume we're going to get our transfer budgets after this match as well. So that's going to be interesting. I'm not expecting a lot. I'm thinking if I get 10 or 15 million pounds, that'll probably be okay. I've upset them there, but who cares? It's the last day of the season. 10 or 15 million pounds will be fine. I've got a list of 3 or 4 players who we should be able to sell for another big bunch of cash. I think it should be possible to have an interesting summer, as long as they give me some money, which we haven't seen yet. Are we going to get any money? Are we going to get budgets now? I'd like budgets. To end the episode, I think budgets allow us to prepare for what comes next. We're getting budgets. Budgets, there we go. So, don't need to worry about all this. Who's devastated by season? The match up to... How do you think the season... This is my assistant manager. To be honest, I can't go on my holidays and forget about... Can't wait to get my holidays and forget about football for a while. What are you saying, you moron? I know the first half of the season was rubbish. That second half's been brilliant. Angulo gets runner-up in goalkeeper of the year. And here we go. Drum roll, please. Our budgets for Monday's transfer special. Well, I said I didn't need a lot. It'll be fine. I've got a plan. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. and thank you very much for watching.